Hey guys, it's Oscar over here, Bully Nerd. Stay tuned for our very first episode. So, unless you've been living under a rock over the past few weeks, you heard about the massive success that is Wonder Woman. It's been breaking box office records worldwide and has breathed new life back into what was kind of a failing DCEU. So normally what I would do, I just do a straight up review, but since the movie came out a few weeks ago, I'm going to talk about the 5 things that I enjoyed about this movie and the one casting choice that I just couldn't get past. So, spoilers ahead. Alright, let's talk about that first thing that I love, which was Themyscira. Themyscira is the island paradise that the Amazons live on in the DC universe, and I have to say that the sets and locations that they built and they found for this movie were absolutely amazing. Probably some of the best sets that I've seen in a sci-fi or a fantasy or a superhero movie in a long time. Like, mostly you're getting a lot of CGI with these movies, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange recently, we're getting a lot of CGI, but this is actually actual places in Italy that they're using, and they found some locations that are so vibrant with color that it's absolutely amazing. I haven't really seen sets like this, like, remember, since probably like Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was set in New Zealand, and these places, these locations are actually real. I remember somebody telling me the first time, it's like, no, that's exactly how it looks. And I was like, no, there's no way that's how it looks. But that's the same feel that I get with Themyscira, with these places in Italy. It's so amazing to watch these first scenes because the setting just really brings you into the story, which is something much different than we've seen in the DCEU. The DCEU, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and even Suicide Squad, they have had sets that are gray and black and dark and grungy, and this is the completely opposite of that. I have to give props to Patty Jenkins. Her team and her crew found great locations, and they really made an amazing movie, amazing first act, and it's all Patty Jenkins' image. She was like, no, I don't like how the tone of the DCU has gone so far, so she took her image, her movie, her sets, brought it in, kicked out what they were doing in the DCU before, and they really created a great first act for this movie. So I'm really hoping that they give Patty Jenkins a little bit more creative control with the DCE. That's going to be great. If her and the mix of Joss Whedon, who's now filming for Zack Snyder with the Justice League, and also doing the new Batgirl movie, if they can collab, come together, and do some amazing magic, because I know they're both capable of that, they could really do some great things for the DC. And with that said, I want to talk about another thing that Patty Jenkins did well in this movie, which is bringing balance to this movie. The balance in this movie is amazing. It's probably one of the best balanced superhero movies that I've seen in any kind of universe in a long time. This movie knows when to be light and knows when to be serious. It goes up, it goes down, it's hilarious, and then also gets that same level of dark that we see in the DCU all the time, and it really keeps you in the story. It keeps you engaged, which is something that, again, we haven't seen in the DCEU. And one of the big things that I loved about it was the humor. The humor is something we haven't seen in this universe in all 3 movies pretty much, except for maybe a little bit of Suicide Squad, but that's still a little bit darker because of the fact that you have a bunch of villains who are playing the main characters. But the humor in this movie was absolutely perfect. Chris Pine and Gal Gadot as Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman were fantastic. The banter that they were able to get with each other and the moments that they were able to create, which seemed so natural, were hilarious. You have Lucy Dacus, who plays Etta, who's Steve Pine's that's hilarious, not Steve Pines, who's Steve Trevor's secretary, who brings these amazing one-liners that just make you crack up inside. And then you also have this rogue group of soldiers traveling with Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor, who are able to bring a lighter tone to the movie in these situations that are very serious, in these situations that are about the war. And it was absolutely amazing. One of my favorite parts at the very beginning, Steve Trevor, when he's in that lasso of truth and he's like, oh my God, this is so hot. And he's trying to resist telling the truth to the Amazons. Like, that whole scene was hilarious. And then you have Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman, they're on the boat. And on that boat, they're having this back and forth dialogue, and Chris Pine is so uncomfortable, and Gal Gadot does a really, really, really good job of making these scenes seem so real. She seems like she has no idea why he would be uncomfortable at all, and she really sells those moments. And then you have Lucy Davis, who plays Etta. Like I said, she has these amazing one-liners at one point. Wonder Woman's like, that sounds like a slave. And Etta Davis, without missing a beat, says, oh, I like her. So they have those funny bits, but then they also have the serious bits. And within the serious bits, I'm not gonna talk about those too much, but I really wanna talk about the fight scenes. The fight scenes in this movie were insane. From beginning to end, every single one had me just encaptured in them. From the first one with the Amazons on the beach against the Germans, that scene was amazing. Like, that move when Antiope, running through the sand, picks up the bow and arrow and the 3 arrows, says shield, jumps up, shoots the 3 Germans, and lands like, that wasn't nothing. That scene was amazing. And my favorite scene, though, was absolutely the scene where Wonder Woman comes busting through the window, superhero landing, head comes up, and then her theme music drops. And I have been looking forward to her theme music for the entire movie. Quick note about this, that theme music, like, normally DC has done pretty bad in my opinion when it comes to movie music. Like, Marvel is amazing at movie music. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, like the music that they choose for that has been absolutely incredible. The new Black Panther trailer, the music that they have in that, like, go listen to that trailer. I'll put a link in the description. But that trailer is freaking amazing. The music is awesome. But this Wonder Woman theme music gets me so hyped. Every single time I hear it, gets me so hyped. Like, I work out to this. That's how hyped this music gets me. And in this day and age, there haven't been a lot of modern themes for these superheroes that are different. And Wonder Woman has her music, and you know it's about to go down when you hear her theme music come in. And that last scene, the very last act with the fight with Ares, that was an amazing, amazing fight too. The only one problem that I had with that fight was the actual casting of Ares. Like, I couldn't get past Wonder Woman's fighting Professor Lupin. Like, I couldn't get past that. Like, every single time I was like, that's an old man under that mask. And like, it was even weird when Zeus was fighting Ares. Like, there's a whole scene where they're talking about this battle, and then Ares gets knocked out of the sky, and then his mask comes off, and it's muscly dude, and Professor Lupin's face with the mustache. And I was like, oh, that's a little bit weird. But even still, once he gets the full armor on and just looks like a complete and total badass, the fight scene is absolutely incredible. If you had a different fight scene that you enjoyed, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear about what you guys liked. I'd love to hear about what you guys think, what is something that I possibly missed. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. And then let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about, which was Gal Gadot and her performance as Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot is single-handedly saving the DCEU. I don't even think it's a question anymore that in these movies, there's been 4 movies, and she's been in 2 of them, being Batman v Superman and Wonder Woman. And in both those movies, she has been absolutely phenomenal. And the best part about the DCEU so far, and she is able to do that because she's taking this character and she's playing all aspects of this character well, and really doing a good job of, especially in this movie, of building this character so this character is multi-dimensional, which has been very difficult for characters like Superman. Like, Superman is a very hard character to bring more dimensions to. Batman, in the same way, is kind of difficult. It's a little bit easier because his personalities, like Bruce Wayne and Batman, are 2 characters, and you realize that they're one, but they're 2 separate characters, so you're able to get this different kind of range. But Wonder Woman seems like one character to me. Like, I'm not really focusing on her alter ego that much, but in this movie, she does a great job of playing all aspects of this character. From the very beginning, you have this character who doesn't know about her powers, does not know how powerful she is, and she's learning how powerful she is. Like that first scene when she goes like this, when Antiope is attacking her, and she goes like this, and boom, and she realized, oh my gosh, I have so much power. Or when she actually just jumps onto the building, onto the castle, and like falling, and then she boom, and she realized, oh man, I can break stone with my bare hands, and she just starts free climbing it by busting into the stone. She's realizing her powers, and then she goes through these emotional different journeys where she is trying to figure out what is the right thing to do, trying to be this beacon of hope, and at some points doesn't know what to do, but ends up making the right decision in the end. It's not, and the nice thing about too is that they don't actually over-sexualize her character in any way, which I love. I mean, granted, Gal Gadot, she's an absolutely beautiful one, but honestly, I don't really feel like they're like, hey, look at this beautiful woman that we casted for this. It was like, no, look at this badass woman that we casted for this. Have her blocking bullets and running at Germans and running through no man's land and just taking names and just kicking everybody's butt. Like, that was absolutely amazing to me. The build that they have with the character is phenomenal, and I really loved it. I gotta say, it's absolutely been one of my favorite parts of the DCEU so far is Wonder Woman, and she is doing an amazing job. But that's just my take on her. I would love to hear down in the comments what you guys think about her performance, what you really liked about her performance. So leave those down in the comments. I will definitely be replying, definitely be talking to you guys, because I love to hear what you guys have to say about her performance. All in all, I have to say that this movie really was probably my favorite origin story of the modern superhero era. And by modern superhero era, I mean since like X-Men came out in the early 2000s. Since then, that's like the modern superhero. This is definitely my favorite origin story, and it is close to getting onto my Rushmore of favorite superhero movies of all time. That's how much I really enjoy this movie. I'm going to be talking about my Rushmore of movies sometime in the future, so you'll know what I mean by that. There'll be different videos about that, but this is definitely on my Rushmore of origin stories, and it's probably number one when it comes to my favorite origin stories. So like I said, like, subscribe. I'm going to be putting out content every single week. I'm going to be doing news about things that are going on in the superhero movie universe, in the TV universe, and also different comic books. Just anything that I like, anything that I feel, I'm going to be bringing that to this channel. So like and subscribe, buttons down below. Hit that bell, gives you updates on when I've posted different videos. And like I said, my name's Oscar Hampton, this is Boldly Nerd, and I will see you guys later.